Welcome back, this is Riley the Dinosaur Guy, and today we will be drawing Omega 9 from Jurassic World The Game. So, let's dive right into a quick outline. So, first I'm going to be using a mechanical pencil. You can find them at Walmart. So we're going to be drawing a circle as our body for our Omega 9. So you can go ahead and do so. And we're going to be putting in the feet. This one first, and then we're going to be putting in the other one. So I don't know if you have watched Jurassic World, but I have, and it's like an awesome movie. So yeah, you guys can check that out. So now we're going to be putting in the neck of Omega 9, and I don't know if you have this game on your iPad or whatever, but I do, and it's an awesome game. Yeah, so you guys should go check it out. You can find it at the App Store. So now we're going to be putting the back of our Omega 9. We're going to be just rough sketching those spikes that are at the back. And on this tutorial, it's going to be part 1, part 2. So yeah, stay tuned for part 2. So now we're going to be putting in the head of Omega 9. And we're going to be doing most detail on the head of Omega 9, just because we want that to stand out the most, not the body. So you can go ahead and do so. So speaking about part 1, part 2, we're going to be, I'm going to be doing part 1, part 2. So this is part 1 for the head of our T-Rex, which will be super detailed. That's why I made it part 1, part 2. And the other part will be the whole other body. So now we're going to be putting, same as we did on the back, those rough spikes, we're going to be putting in the cavity, the eye cavity. So you can put that right in. And we're going to be putting in kind of a more good copy after this. But first we're going to be putting in our legs, our other leg of our Omega 9. So this one is kind of like the same one, but it's more hidden. And be sure to copy my outline, because you want the outline to be kind of perfect, so you know what is where. And now we're going to be putting in a rough outline for the tail. Sorry about that. I hate when people do this online when I watch other YouTubers draw, when they like erase something and I already had it perfect and then I had to erase it again. So sorry about that. So we're going to be putting kind of like the meat around I'm going to just call it the bone that we made. So we can do that on the other one. Just going to be perfecting this belly of Omega 9. I don't know what level you guys are on Jurassic World The Game, but I think I'm on level 20 or something. I don't know. But we're going to be putting in the arms of our Omega 9. And like I said, we're going to be putting the other arm. And now we're going to be putting in, at the end of this tutorial of the face, we're going to be putting in this kind of like, I don't know if you have the game or not, but when you like attack someone, then it like has this like kind of like wind thing. So it's like going to be kind of like biting it in the air. So that'll be a cool thing to do. So now we're done the outline, and we're going to be doing left to right, because right to left, and then we would smudge it. So we're going to be working left to right. So now we're going to be erasing this rough copy of the face. So then we can do a better copy on the face. So yeah. So the people who haven't watched Jurassic World or any of that, and if you are just watching this video because it's fun, but I do encourage you to draw with me, because I am trying to post a video every week, so that'll be fun. So don't miss out on any of those, because it's gonna be awesome. So now we're going to be kind of making a better copy of kind of like the outline of our T-Rex head. So you can do that. Again, I hate when people do that. Sorry about that. About like racing, and you already did it perfect. Sorry. So we're going to be connecting this to the other line that we drew. And that is the top jaw. Let me make this a bit more, yeah. So I don't know if you guys do this, but I collect Jurassic World toys. So you can buy them at Walmart or whatever, but it's kind of half or funny if you guys have watched Jurassic World, the movie, because then you could like have little toys of them that you could put on your shelves and stuff. So I have about like maybe 8 or something. I'm buying a Velociraptor blue. So that's pretty cool. And back to the tutorial. We're going to put these little spikes in on the nose or on the snout of our Omega-9. And before that we put the nostril in. So I think now we're going to be putting in spikes. Let me just fix that. Oops. So we're going to be putting in spikes on our Omega-9. So back to off the tutorial. If you guys want to buy some of those toys, you could just look at Walmart. I think there's some at there's a lot online, but they're more expensive. So I would try to buy them at the stores. And back to the tutorial again, we're going to be putting spikes, kind of, I just call it, not an eyelid, but like just above, and kind of like an eye ridge. So we could put spikes on there, a bit larger that we did on the other half of it. So you could put that right in. While we're waiting for this to be done. So yeah. Yeah. So we're going to be putting in a little bit more spikes and down the side of her head. Omega-9. So now we're going to, I think, be putting in the cavities of Omega-9. So yeah. So after this cavity, we're going to be doing, I just call it the eye cavity because a cavity around the eye, but you can call it whatever you want. And I might make a few more changes when this video is turned off at the end of the video in part 2. So I might add like a few more spikes and today, the texture for today is going to be scales. Mostly on the head because I want the head to stand out, like I said earlier in this tutorial. So we could finish putting the eye socket right in. After that is done, I think we could put in a few more spikes there. So now we're going to be putting scales around each cavity and putting them in between. So you want big ones and small ones, and so you want it to look organic, kind of. So we could put some shading under those scales if you're going the extra mile. But people that just want to get it done and stuff, you could just put the scales right in, and you could just put cross hatching if you want. You don't have to go this this detailed, but I am, because I like going details. So I'm going to have other tutorials. My next one I am thinking will be Blue. Blue's head, because he's my favorite dinosaur in Jurassic World. But after we finish part 2 of Omega 9. So we're going to be putting a bit more scales, and I'm going to be time-lapsing this part. So yeah, see you after. And one more thing, you're going to be putting it in the cavities as well, but just put them a bit more smaller so it looks like it's inside the T-Rex. Like not puffing out, like kind of like pushed against the T-Rex. So it's like a cavity. Yeah. I'll check in with you later. So now we are done the head. It is looking awesome. So if you haven't noticed, we put like kind of like darker scales to lighter scales. I'm planning on doing that at the bottom jaw, way more than this one, because I don't want it to be that dark. I'm gonna, probably when the camera is off, I'm going to lighten up a few scales or something like that. So we're going to be putting the other, in the top jaw, the other side of the top jaw. We're going to be coloring this all in black. But before that, we're going to be, I think, putting in the teeth and the bottom jaw first. So yeah, you can watch me do it. I'm gonna sit back, watch my process. I'll check back with you guys later. So now we finished shading the muscle opening and closing the top jaw and the bottom jaw. So now we're going to be putting, well, Omega 9 is kind of known for this, putting spikes on his lower jaw. That's like one of the things that I know about him. So that will be a pretty cool thing to add, as well as the end of this tutorial. We're going to be putting in kind of like those roar things. I explained it in the beginning of this video, but we're going to be putting that in, so it looks super cool. So I'm going to check back with you guys later after these spikes are done. erasing the other side. You can still see it though, because that's good. So we're going to be putting in the humongous teeth on Omega 9. So you can watch my process, and I will see you guys in a bit. So now we finished the top jaw of our Omega 9. So I think the next thing to do is the tongue. But I'm not going to draw it fully because we need to put teeth first. Yeah. Collecting dinosaurs is awesome. It's super fun. I might even do an unboxing tutorial on some of them and put them on my YouTube channel. So stay tuned for that. That'll be awesome. So now we're going to be putting some teeth in of the lower jaw. And the dinosaurs, you can literally find any dinosaur and it'll be on there. Yeah, it's gonna be well, I already have I think I have a Velociraptor Charlie. I'm planning on getting all all of them. I have a Calavosaurus. I hope I said that right. I have a Albertosaurus. That one's pretty cool. There's like different ones that you can get. Like battle damage is one. But if you already know this and you have like a whole bunch of them, don't mind me because I just started collecting them, so it's pretty cool. And I also have a Stygimoloch from Jurassic World Fallen Kingdom. That one, I was super impressed by Mattel, the name brand of them, because they just did an awesome job on the paint job. It looked exactly like it was in the movie. So yeah, text me or in the comments below where other stores you can buy them. You can buy them online anywhere. So yeah, we're going to be putting some texture to the tongue and shading in the other side of the muscle. So yeah, you can go ahead and do that. So now we've finished shading in the other side of the muscle, I'm going to call it. So all we have left to do is just scales on the bottom jaw. So I'm going to leave you guys. I'll check back in with you guys in a bit after we're done the scales. And remember, do little ones, big ones, weird shaped ones to make it look organic. But first of that, before all of that, you can put the scales on top of it, of our lower jaw, just where I put them right now. So yeah, I'll check back with you guys later. So now, like I said, we're going to be putting in kind of like the bite wind, I'm going to call it. And this thing is looking super cool. I can't wait until I finish it in part 2. So about the scales, you can see how I did a little bit lighter where those spikes ended. That I said Omega 9 was meant for. So yeah, you can copy mine or do a little different texture, but this is the end of this tutorial. After I finish this like bite force. So now we're going to be putting in a little bit more bite force. Now I'm gonna call it that. Seems a little bit more better. So yeah, if you like this video, please leave a like and subscribe, and stay tuned for part 2. So yeah, I'm going to be releasing that in a few days, so see you next time.